Tom and Sam for Cultaholic. One day, Andrew Hodkinson free, heading into a bank holiday weekend. I don't know about you, but because the world's been on fire, I keep forgetting bank holiday weekends roll around.
I mean, I usually end up working them anyway, so it's just an average weekend to me usually.
It's just another day in paradise.
Yeah.
Another day in paradise with some wrestling news.
And no Yorkshire puddings on the windows.
None of them. John Cena to headline SummerSlam 2021. We'll talk about that in a minute. The Raw Creative team are fighting to get an NXT star called up. And we've got some details on some scrapped SmackDown title plans, which we'll get to in a little bit. Looking to SummerSlam, the biggest party of the summer. Some details on when and where that will take place to come. But in terms of who is being involved, more like Dapper Who is being involved. What's this all about, Sam?
So John Cena is, of course, scheduled to return on the July 16th episode of WWE Friday Night SmackDown. And Andrew Zarian from the Mat Men podcast strongly hinted that Cena would be part of the SummerSlam main event. There were no hints given on who he'd be facing, but based on the lack of top faces available for Roman Reigns and you know, based on the fact that WWE needs to sell out a 60,000 seat stadium, it kind of, you know, speculation just starts to build and build and build. But he said he trusts his source in this, that he's been right about certain things before, and he trusts that the source knows what's happening at SummerSlam.
Zarian and his guys have been pretty much on the money with a lot of stuff as of late. So John Cena and Roman Reigns is a SummerSlam main event. On the podcast this morning, we replayed.
It's not being confirmed. we got to clarify that.
Confirmed, guaranteed. No, it's not confirmed. It's not confirmed. It's certainly looking like this is a way that it's going to go. And I'm very intrigued by this as a main event, because on the podcast this morning, we talked about this and we played a bit of the audio of that infamous John Cena Roman Reigns promo, the one that just went the distance, where John Cena just runs rings around Roman. I think all these years on, with Roman Reigns doing the best work of his career, I'd love to see round 2 of that in the build up to SummerSlam.
I would, but I don't want to see Cena win. This is the problem. If Cena comes in, like, Roman needs to hold that belt for like 4 years. Just do it. Cowards,
I feel like because I thought that we would see someone like Edge or Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
If Roman was going to lose in front of a crowd, he would have done it at Mania. WWE have proved that even though like the tantalizing big pop for a babyface win is just that, tantalizing.
Yeah.
They're not against having the heel go over in front of crowds. So
well, it doesn't. I mean, there's a lot of story left to tell with the Roman Reigns saga, and you know, there's no point in pulling this while it's, you know, short. You can't. You've got to let this thing complete itself naturally with, you know, everybody seems to assume it's going to be The Rock Roman at some point. But, you know, Cena Roman, like a really good match with maybe Roman using Jay or Jimmy to intervene or somebody else, like something in and around that, you know, we could maybe see it.
In terms of when SummerSlam is going down and where, we had some issue over whether or not it would take place in Las Vegas at all, which is some of the original rumoured plans that it was going to be in Vegas. But then the boxing rocked up the night before, and everybody went, "Oh, what? Damn you, Pacquiao!"
They'll just use the same ring. It's fine. Boxing rings are a little harder. There's an extra rope though, you know, for more bouncy stuff.
Exactly. You'd be having a lovely time. So anyway, according to a very reliable source close to Andrew Zarian once again, SummerSlam is taking place this year on the 21st of August.
In Newcastle upon Tyne, England?
Yes! It's coming to the Utilita.
Could you imagine?
Get in there at the Boiler House.
We've opened up some extra seats and there will be 10,600 people able to watch the show tonight.
NXT TakeOver Anarchy Brew. That is stunning. That's a hell of a local reference. You're welcome to it. Now, so the big thing here is this is coming. It's coming out of Vegas still, but it's happening on a Saturday.
Whoa!
Wow! I know. What weird. Because it was. I mean, I'm fine with it. We get a lie-in on the day after.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, well, we don't get a lie-in,
but we as fans in the UK do.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I want to see what's going to happen here, because I've always thought that Saturday night might be better for the international market because, you know, as you said, we've got the Lion and we have to stay up so late, so very late. I think, oh, could you imagine if they just go, let's just move it all Saturday now?
Be amazing.
Oh.
I'd be so happy with that. We'll keep an eye on the plans for SummerSlam going forward at cultaholic.com. Looking to Monday Night Raw, which has been quite the bin fire since WrestleMania. I've had some grief this week for being anti-WWE, and I'm not. There's a lot of stuff that WWE do right, but Raw has been rubbish. It really has.
There's been a steady decline in terms of, I'd say, overall quality in Raw for the last 15 years now, maybe. It's just been slipping and slipping and slipping. And
do you know who they think might save it? Finn Balor.
Yes.
So this comes from WrestleVotes, who say, regarding Finn Balor, I'm told members of the Raw Creative team have asked for months for Finn Balor. No edict has come down from the top yet, yanking him from Orlando. The NXT crew adores Balor, so unless the main roster has major plans for him, I think he's okay where he is.
Honestly, like, how does a creative team not want somebody like Balor in the first place? And I always thought it was going to be, a matter of time before he winds up back on the main roster. But if there's still, stories for him to tell and things to be doing down in NXT, then I don't see what's wrong with that.
It is so damning, though, of a development system that, and NXT has always been considered partly third brand, partly developmental brand, but it is so damning. It is, though. It is, because if you're building something as a brand which people can earn their stripes and move up to, which was always the story we told with NXT, the fact that not only do you have guys on the main roster want to go down there, but we've had multiple cases now of guys who want to stay down there.
Yeah.
That's pretty damning of your development system and your system as a whole, isn't it?
I don't
really?
I think it shows how amazing your development system is, and it shows how worried people are about leaving it.
Yeah, but it's a multi-pronged problem. But Balor, I think, it feels like Balor's time within NXT kind of is organically coming to an end. So I won't be surprised if they kind of sort of put the pressure on him a little bit more to go back to Raw and be a part of that product, because it feels like he's sort of done all the things there.
I mean, as I said, I've always felt like it was only a matter of time beforehand, but if there is still some stuff for him to be doing in NXT, I can't see anybody saying no to more time in NXT, simply because everybody seems to want to be there, everybody seems to want to be among it, and everybody seems to have a great time while they're there. So, you can't blame them.
And everybody wants to see Eva Marie make her WWE return. She is set to make a return next month, according to sources. Fightful Select reporting current plans involve Eva Marie working in a non-wrestling capacity, being used to help get another female talent over as either a valet or a manager.
I think that could work very well, because Eva Marie is a natural heat machine with the audience usually. People just boo and boo and boo, or at least historically did. People felt very strongly about Eva Marie, and I think you could parlay that crowd reaction into something good.
Who do we think would be a great person to be teaming with Eva Marie?
Now, there is a big question.
You could form this sort of Mean Girls-esque stable with people like Carmella in the mix of that as well, which I quite like.
Yeah. Does Carmella need somebody to kind of add that extra layer?
Maybe not. Maybe not. I'll be interested to see who she ends up with. Yeah, there's a lot of bags of potential with that one. Some rough news for Paige, who makes a lot of money from her Twitch account and has been very outspoken about WWE's plans to take it away. She's been banned from Twitch. This comes after she did a watch-along of Dumb and Dumber, starring Jim Carrey. Yeah. And Twitch aren't happy campers about this, Sam.
Well, I mean, you've got to be really, really, really careful with whatever you're doing when it concerns copyrighted imagery and copyrighted video. You need to make sure that, it is acceptable on the platform. If Twitch has approved, this is okay for watch parties, or this isn't, you've really got to stick to those things. And it can be hard because you'll see other channels and other streams doing X, Y, and Z and getting away with it. But ultimately, if you take that risk yourself, it's still, it's not like, I don't know, if you're a big channel and you're taking that risk, you're more likely to get hit, I guess. And it's just one of those things with stemming from copyright in particular. You've always just got to be so careful.
I think Twitch are a bit harsher on the ban hammer than even YouTube are, from what I understand.
I think it's kind of, they're both from a very similar standpoint. They both come from the exact same kind of mentality, which is just like, do you own this? Are you allowed to stream this? Yes or no? Is it transformative? X, Y, Z. But with Twitch being live, you know, and people have historically abused Twitch in a way where they, you know, they'd be mirroring pay-per-views there, they'd be mirroring films, they'd have all sorts of stuff just uploaded, streaming constantly, until their channel gets taken down, then they'll launch a new one, then they'll launch a new one, that type of thing. I think Twitch is more primed and ready to strike with the ban.
They really are. I mean, my advice to Paige would be, when you come back, maybe, you know, keep it simple. Play a bit of Euro Truck Simulator, maybe.
Yeah.
Kick back and play some trucks, maybe a bit of Banjo-Kazooie. Just a thought. That's done us well this week. Find Alamo some scrap plans from SmackDown, Sam Driver's favourite show. Renee Paquette had Natalya on the Oral Sessions podcast. What's Natalya talking about, Sam?
So Natalya mentioned that she was supposed to start a feud with Sasha Banks at the beginning of the year, and she said, I was supposed to go into a rivalry with Sasha Banks earlier this year, and everything changed when Bianca won the Rumble. That pesky Bianca. She didn't say that pesky Bianca, I added that. I was so excited about wrestling Sasha because I think she's one of the greatest women's wrestlers in the world, if not the best. TJ said to me, you and Tamina need to be a team. You would be perfect together. He pulled up a picture and showed the family history. Owen with Yokozuna, the Head Shrinkers, the Bulldogs, the Hart Foundation. Look at all the greatness in your families. Look at all the greatness your families have done together. You guys should be a team. You should pitch it. I went from being sad and not working Sasha because I had all these ideas and we were training together, and Sasha lit this fire in me. Then I had this new fire in front of me, teaming with Tamina. TJ was the inspiration behind it. Ah.
So Ross can thank TJ for the Tamina train finally pulling into Championship Boulevard just the other week. It's nice though. I'm quite like, I know they've grown on me as a team. I think the fans have fallen in love with Natalya and Tamina as well.
When I first saw them, I was like, oh, this is just another one of those mishmash tag teams they just like to throw together for 2 weeks, and then they have a fallout, then there's a little feud, then they're a tag team again, you know, 2 years later. But then they started really putting them over, even from the first appearance, as genuine threats, and these are the daughters of WWE legends and Hall of Famers, and, you know, making such a big deal about their, you know, movesets and their lineage in terms of their wrestling career. I don't know. It was just like, are they giving them a chance? And I was like, and then quietly just like, yeah, go on. Whereas everybody else is like, why are we getting this?
The deep joy in Ross's face when Tamina became a champion in the industry. It's probably the highlight of 2021 for me, and remains so. It remains so. More news in a bit. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.